Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. When Brian C. Koberger stood up in open court last July 2nd and pled guilty to all 5 of the very serious first-degree felonies that he was about to stand trial for after more than 2.5 years of aggressive battles between the state and the defense, in this case, it came to the surprise of some in the community. Questions still remain unanswered as to what caused that enormous change in strategy, where defense counsel at one point stated that her client was factually innocent. We have been looking at documents from the final weeks of the case, and one document is the defendant's motion for the appointment of a special investigation that was filed last year. We see here that there was an order sealing the state's response to the defendant's motion regarding special investigation, signed by Judge Hippler June 12th, 2025. This would have been approximately 2 weeks before Mr. Koberger signed the plea deal with the state of Idaho, waiving all of his appellate rights, and also a second document where he waived all of his constitutional rights, including the right to a jury trial. In looking at Judge Hippler's order, he is stating here that based on the state's motion to seal the state's response to the defendant's motion regarding special investigation filed herein, the court does hereby confirm and order that the motion to seal the state's response to the defendant's motion regarding special investigation is exempt from disclosure and sealed pursuant to Idaho Court Administrative Rule 32G1 for the reasons stated in said motion. Dated June 12, 2025, signed by Judge Stephen J. Hippler as district judge. If you were to look at the state's motion, they gave 2 reasons for the sealing of their response. One was due to the confidential nature of the matter, which is eluding to the public even today because of the highly sealed nature of the case. The other reason was that it might impede the selection of a fair and impartial jury. Well, that second reason stopped being a bona fide reason when Mr. Koberger pled guilty, because the jury trial was immediately canceled. So yet another question in this highly sealed case, which still remains sealed to the public largely today, 10 months after he pled guilty, and where no other person has ever been arrested as a co-conspirator, an accessory before the fact, an accessory after the fact, or alternative perpetrator. Questions continue to be asked. What is the status of this special investigation based on the defense's motion that was filed last summer? Those questions continue to remain unanswered, as does what is the status of the unsealing of the case that Judge Hippler announced would happen after he denied the media's motion to immediately unseal this case back in July of 2025, a motion that was raised on the First Amendment. We will continue to keep you posted as further developments arise. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.